Guys, I love this guy. Even though he doesn't speak English and I don't speak Turkish, we have this like translation app so we can speak a little bit. And he's so on my level about, you know, spirituality. We were talking about energy, and I really wish that we could understand each other better, because I'm sure we could talk so much on this truck ride. We are still, I think, 350 kilometers from Izmir. Actually, I have to pack because I'm heading towards Izmir next. And yeah, I'll tell you later in detail what just happened during the last, not even 20 minutes, half an hour maybe. Peak adventure and hitchhiking DOVE experience. That's what happens when you go with the flow. All right, yeah, talk to you soon. All right, less wind down here, and I swear I'm not planning it like this, but it just happens to be that I guess this is gonna be a walking vlog of vlogging in English. I'm still a bit scared that I'm gonna be rained on. Hopefully not. Anyways, I'm here in Iskender Valley in Cappadocia, and I was just up at a cave church. I show you what I'm talking about there. All right, let's do this before the rain comes. There are some dark clouds. I think I just heard some thunder. For some reason, the weather gods always only want me to record the German parts. I'm already right now in Cappadocia, in the Iskender Valley right now. Behind me there's a cave church. There's loads of caves around Cappadocia, in the valleys, in the cities. It's a beautiful place, but I'll show you more on that in the Cappadocia vlog. Now I'm gonna pick you up from leaving Istanbul and from the cliffhanger that I ended the last vlog with, because my hitchhiking trip from Istanbul to Izmir was probably the most strenuous part on this trip so far. And what happened is this: I started from my host in Istanbul, Ismail, and took the public transport towards the ramp to the highway, which has proved to be a strategically smart spot for hitchhiking, because, you know, people are going slow-ish and they usually go further ways on the highway. Ooh, baby. All right. I was scared for a second that it's gonna blow away the phone, but it's hooked to me, so I guess I don't have to scare about that so much. I hope the wind doesn't... Should I sit in the cave? I think the acoustics will be weird. All right, better hurry up. So, all right, as you can hear, it's super loud. I'm at the main street here in Istanbul, just before the exit to the Autobahn. I rode south and 05, which is the highway that I want to go to, because I figured putting Izmir won't make sense so far, but we'll see how long it takes me to hitchhike out of Istanbul. Thumbs out. I was waiting for a little while at the highway ramp and Kerem number 1, because I met Kerem number 2 in Antalya. Was nice enough to take me across one of the Bosporus bridges. I don't remember the actual name of it. I'll put it down here. All right, so it took me half an hour, but I am now with Kerem, and he's nice enough to get me merhaba. And we're gonna cross the bridge now, the Bosporus bridge. So I'll just show you how that looks like from this side. Tamam. Oh, there's a little camp. Maybe I'll sit down here because it seems to be less windy. And then mistake number 1 happened, because instead of having Kerem drop me off at the highway, he took me to the place that he was going to, and I would have just been way better off with just so you can see, here's like random wood. I guess there used to be some kind of shop here, maybe. Oh, there's a cave up there. I'll sit there. That looks cool. And Yeah, so I walked back a little bit across a really big roundabout, and that was the first time in Turkey where I was like, ugh, fuck the traffic. That's hella dodgy. Videos, die Mutter niemals sehen darf. Weil wo ich da rausgelassen werde, einfach an der Autobahn ausfahrt. Zack. Okay, back to caves. Yeah, so definitely less wind here, and if it rains I'm just gonna hide back in there. And yeah, the traffic is just insane sometimes. And so I was walking back to a toll station and made mistake number 2 because I said no to a guy who offered me a ride to the airport. He seemed like a really cool guy. He was a UPS driver, and I think we could have made really funny content together. But I figured the airport is not really in my way, so I'd rather not. And then just a bit shortly after that, a guy named Ali stopped for me and said, yeah, he's going the same direction towards Izmir, until he told me that he's also going to the airport. And there's no point to try hitchhiking at airports. Just let me tell you that. If you are considering hitchhiking ever, don't do it at airports. So I guess the airport police doesn't like hitchhikers. Airport exit, airport exit. 3 different cars actually said that to me. So I'll exit the airport and see if I can find the ramp to the highway and maybe get lucky. It's just a shitty place. There's just taxis and official transport and barely any private cars. And so we had a little bit of a miscommunication because there was a big shopping mall with tons of cars nearby called Viaport, which sounds a little bit like airport. So I think he was suggesting to drop me off there. I said something else. We kind of not communicated properly. We were already at Viaport, and then he continued to go to the airport. Shit happens. And then, just like now, dark clouds started forming and it started drizzling. And I got out of the airport. There was a guy waiting in a van. He was like, yeah, there's no way you're gonna get a ride for free here. Don't even try. I showed him my sign, of course. Didn't change his mind, but it changed the mind of another guy who was waiting there, because apparently what a lot of people do is they don't wait inside the airport to avoid the parking fees. They just wait outside, just on the side of the road, waiting for people to arrive, and then they take them from there. And this guy, Ramazan, I think I didn't take a picture with him, but he looked like an owl a little bit. He was waiting for his wife and told me, yeah, let's wait for her. She's getting her luggage, and then I can take you to the next gas station on the highway. And for some reason, he got stressed out. I don't know what exactly happened, but we didn't wait for his wife. He drove me, and because he was so stressed, he just took the wrong exit and actually ended up driving 10, 15 kilometers the other way back to Istanbul. And at some point was like, where's your gas station? And it was like, bro, you took the wrong exit. There's no gas station here. Obviously I didn't tell him that, but tried to communicate that. And yeah, he just dropped me off at another toll station, but not a regular one where people have to stop and go slowly. They go really fast right through. So, and it was still drizzling, and I had no real idea what I'm gonna do, how I'm gonna get away from there. So I saw 3 road officers. We call them, well, in Turkey they call them jandarma, and that's a similar word in German. We call them gendarm. I don't know if there's an English word for that, but they were, just not proper police, I guess, but road officers. But they were really nice. There was 3 of them. They were kind of my age, probably, give or take. They invited me for some tea. I shared some of my chocolates with them. And I showed them my sign. I told them where I wanted to go, that I wanted to go to Izmir. And they were like, okay, there's gonna be a bus. And I said, I don't have money for the bus. And they said, that's fine, you will be going for free. Power, using your power, corruption, I don't know how you people feel about this. For me in that situation, I was like, okay, I'll take it. And that bus never came. We waited for like half an hour, 45 minutes maybe, but the bus never showed up. And I asked them repeatedly, like, is the bus going to come? And they were like, we don't know. And then at some point we were like just crossing the road towards the direction of Izmir. And they literally stopped the first truck that they saw with a license plate from Izmir. I think that's how they knew that he's going there. Or it was just a big coincidence that he was going to Izmir. And they basically coerced him to just take me. I didn't even have to ask. The police did it all for me. And it ended up being a really, really fun ride with Bülent, who I may call my friend now. After we started off in a little bit of a shy way, we used my translation app to communicate, and we talked about philosophy, religion, God and the world. We took the truck on a ferry, which I'm gonna show you now. Guys, I love this guy. Even though he doesn't speak English and I don't speak Turkish, we have this like translation app so we can speak a little bit. And he's so on my level about, you know, spirituality. We were talking about energy, and I really wish that we could understand each other better, because I'm sure we could talk so much on this truck ride. We are still, I think, 350 kilometers from Izmir. And we had some dinner together, and it was just a really, really pleasant ride. At some point I got really tired because it was a very strenuous day. And also I guess Bülent felt tired, so we just stopped somewhere on the way to Izmir at like 1 a.m. And what I didn't know is that trucker cabins can fit up to several people.
So, das ist die Schlafsituation für heute. Einfach einmal im LKW pennen, nämlich im 2. Stock. Es gibt nämlich ein unteres Bett und ein Stockbett, wie im Nachtzug. Es hängt mich aus, Alter.
It kind of makes sense if you think about it, because sometimes they share the ride, or like, you know, what I'm trying to say is there's two drivers that go back and forth. Sometimes they may sleep at the same time, I don't know. Anyways, it was like a bunk bed in his trucking cabin. So he slept in the lower bunk, I slept in the upper bunk. We obviously overslept. He didn't listen to his alarm, or didn't hear his alarm. And yeah, just continued to Izmir the next day. Oh, it's video. We can take video too. It's time to say goodbye to Bülent. He's been such a great host or driver, and both actually. I had so much pleasure with him talking about God and the world, and now it's time to hitch another ride. And he was nice enough to drop me about 35 kilometers outside of Izmir. That's about 20 miles for my American viewers. And from there I hitched another ride into Izmir, because he was going a different direction in Izmir than me. I was going to Karşıyaka district. And a guy called Okan was friendly enough to take me to the metro. And I actually basically hitched the metro as well, because I just offered people to give them cash so they can tap me in with their cards, because I didn't want to buy a card. And they were just like, you can go for free, it's fine, it's on me, which was really nice. And I arrived at Dennis's place. And some of you, if you have been following my journey and listening to my podcast, you already know Denise. I recorded a podcast episode with her that you can listen to, I guess, up here. And she has just been an amazing host. We really hit it off from the very beginning. She is a trained zoologist, and as a boy, I always wanted to be a zoologist as well. She is also a science writer and editor, which I found very interesting. And right now she's helping a professor edit a book on the evolution and the history of the universe, which I find super, super interesting. So we had immediately had really interesting conversations. I also got to meet her son, Alp, who's a very funny and very smart 8-year-old, and their cat Parfait, which you also can see in the podcast. And yeah, thanks again. If you're watching this, Denise, çok teşekkür ederim. Thank you very much for your hospitality. It was a pleasure. And the day after I got there, we recorded the podcast, and then I really felt the aftermath of how strenuous that hitchhiking day was the day before. My body started aching, I had started to get a little sore throat, and I just decided, you know what, I'm gonna take this day off and just, work a little bit on my laptop and just call it a day, basically. And I think that was a very smart decision, listening to my body in that way, and just giving myself some rest. And that's also the reason why I've been doing longer periods of staying in one place than I actually planned. I was planning on doing maybe 2-3 nights per place, and now I've been doing more 3 to 4 nights, sometimes even 5, I think. So I'm probably gonna stick to that schedule and just hope that I'm still gonna arrive in South Korea. And yeah, the next day was Ephesus. Today the town is called Selçuk. That's where I recorded the last vlog from. If you haven't listened to that, make sure, or watched it, make sure to check that one out. And Ephesus was really a goal of mine to see, and I'm very lucky that I got to see it in the end, and very happy. And it was just an amazing day. I started it off with some chöp shish lunch, which I'm gonna show you now. What's up, guys? I just got to Selçuk, which is the town in which the Ephesus ancient city is located. I just took the Isban, which is basically like a faster train, I guess, courtesy of my host Denise, who borrowed me her card. And before I get going now and exploring the ruins, I'm gonna have some food. This is a recommendation by my friend Emily. I'm gonna have some chöp shish, so skewers, I guess. And yeah, I was actually talking to my mom. She sent me a picture of her in Ephesus in the 70s. And we were joking around that it's actually funny how apparently I grew up to be an adult who actually looks at old rocks voluntarily instead of using my Game Boy like back in the day when I was a kid. My parents used to be very much in love with old places, churches, archaeological sites. So whenever we were on holidays, for example, I remember in Greece, took us a long while, and just getting some water now, and we always just stayed in the car playing on our Game Boys, usually Pokemon. Oh, nice. Well, it's just the free courses, I guess. This is my crotch. This is my face. So yeah, it's funny how the times are flying, how the times are changing. But I've been super curious to see some of the archaeological sites here, and obviously you can't really miss out on Ephesus. So yeah. All right, second part. I just realized that I'm actually at a soup restaurant, and I didn't order soup, so I just changed the order and ordered some lentil soup as well. Alright guys, I'm almost finished, but I figured I'll show you. Actually, I have no idea if this is how you eat chepshish. Probably I'm doing culinary faux pas, but this is how I try. Take the bread, take 2 skewers, try and get the meat off, and then just put all the condiments in, like a little wrap. Some salad, some rice, I don't know, some onions. The onions are really delicious. They have some spice on it. Super good. And some chili peppers for some heat. And of course, don't forget about the sauce. The sauce bounce. And then you just enjoy. So fucking good. I'm so full now. And since it was kind of a rainy day, there weren't that many tourists. And of course, being the unprepared scout guy that I am, I did the whole thing in reverse. So usually, I guess what most tourists and most tours do is they start in Ephesus city, the ancient city of Ephesus. Then they check out the Artemision, the temple of the goddess Artemis, which used to be one of the 7 antique world wonders. Then check out the museum, which is in the modern town, Selçuk. And then check out the St. John's Basilica and the house of Mother Mary. The last one I actually skipped, but I'm just still gonna give you a little bit of historic background. And again, history noob, so be easy on me. But the legend says that Mother Mary, the mother of Jesus, came with St. John to Ephesus to spend her last years, days, months, whatever there. St. John is to be confirmed, or it is confirmed that he was actually staying there. With Mother Mary, it's more of a legend, I guess. I don't know if there's real evidence for that. But I started with St. John's Basilica, which was really cool. I also tried to go up on the castle, overviewing Selçuk, and was all by myself, as I said, and had a little moment where I was about to break the rules, but then just got too scared, and I'm going to show you that now too in a clip. I know it's probably way too windy for this, but I'm so close to just being like, fuck these lines, so you can get a good view. But I'm just not brave enough. This is after all, be put into jail. Only my dad would do it. Shout out, Papa. Yeah. What can I say? Maybe next time. And yeah, then I checked out the museum, went to the Artemision, which was really amazing. And to me, it's just really interesting how you are able to just walk all across the place. Like there's no restrictions or restricted areas. You can just sit on the old temples, which I found a little bit weird, but yeah. And then went to the ancient town in the end, which was really, really cool, especially with so little tourists there. It was just amazing. I recorded the podcast there, the vlog, I should say. And yeah, just had a really good time. And I'm gonna show you the clip of that now. when the humans are gone in Ephesus, the cats come out to play. Or maybe they're all just McGonagalls. Amphitheater acoustic, Austrian style. Es ist niemand da, der das jetzt hören hätte können. Ich bin acting the fool in the amphitheater by myself. Oh yeah, acting the fool in the amphitheater by myself. Oh yeah. Only the real ones will know. Not the fool in the metro, but in the amphitheater. Okay, let's go. So guys, I'm not sure why. Maybe I'm not supposed to be here anymore, but and also for sure it's because of the weather, because it's not been the best, but I'm literally the only person left. I'm all by myself. There was a Russian couple earlier, but how cool is that? Behind me there's the library, the ancient library. I forgot the name already. But yeah, insane. It's actually a little bit spooky to be here by yourself. Oh, there's one more person. Maybe those are the guards that will tell me to leave now. We'll see, but I really enjoyed Ephesus. This has been amazing. Wow. And after enjoying Ephesus, I just went back with the fast train, the İzban as it is called in Turkish, to Karşıyaka, back to Izmir. Had a few beers with Dennis to round off the day, and it was just overall a really, really cool day. And the next day we started with a slow morning and tried to fix an issue that I have with my backpack, because my the bigger one, this is the small one, because my hip strap is broken, or the buckle is broken. So Dennis tried to help me to find a buckle, but apparently there are no 5 centimeter wide buckles. Most of them are smaller. So if you know where to find a 5 centimeter wide buckle in Eastern Turkey, you may let me know. And then she had to pick up her son, who was spending the weekend with his father. And yeah, and I checked out Konak district on my own. Konak is more or less the real quote-unquote center of Izmir. And the way it works is that you have Karşıyaka down here and Konak here and sea in between. And you can take the ferry from one place to another. Of course, I fucked up. Followed the people, but went to the wrong port. So now I'm going back. And then hopefully catch the right ferry. Just another hour wasted in my life. Why not? In the end, I got to Konak, and it was really interesting. There was loads of locals, I think. I didn't spot too many tourists, like a couple maybe, because it's Sunday, I guess. And that's usually the day for people to get out and about. And you're greeted by a huge square with a clock tower in the middle. Which was really interesting. And I first was just gonna blindly walk through that district and through the bazaar and everything. And then I figured, nope, I'm gonna do something content related. What's good, everybody? So I'm right now on the other side of Izmir in the Konak district. Behind me there's the clock tower, which is the landmark of this quarter. There's shitloads of people because it's Sunday and everybody's heading to the shopping areas, the bazaar. And before I blindlessly run in there, I figure I'm gonna set myself a mission today. So, quick story, Austria is not the best and biggest football country, but in the 70s something significant happened where Schneckerl Herbert Prohaska, big shout out, shot a goal to send Austria to the World Cup with his Spitz, which is the front part of his foot, and hence he became to be known as the Spitz of Izmir. So I'm gonna look for a Spitz, which is not just the foot. And I did it in German because the joke only makes sense in German, really, and only Austrians would understand. I guess this is the result. 1977 schoss der legendäre Herbert Schneckerl-Prohaska mit dem Spitz von Izmir Österreich zur WM. Ich habe mich in Izmir auch auf die Suche nach einem Spitz begeben, allerdings der tierischen Sorte. Haustiere bzw. Hunde mit Besitzer in Izmir zu finden, ist gar nicht einmal so leicht, weil es doch deutlich mehr Straßen und, wie man hier sieht, auch Plüschhunde gibt, anstatt Haustiere. Diesen süßen Kläffer habe ich beim Chai-Trinken entdeckt. Die Straßenhunde, die man in Izmir sieht, haben oft eine Marke im Ohr, die dafür steht, dass sie geimpft und auch kastriert sind. Am Weg zurück zur Fähre ins Karjaka-Viertel habe ich dann diesen kleinen süßen Fluffball entdeckt und gewusst, jetzt bin ich schon nah dran, und dann habe ich ihn auf einmal gehört. Kläffend, mich umgedreht, und da war er dann, der Spitz von Izmir.
There it is, guys.
Yeah, after that, I just kept on walking through, walking down the pier, had a little moment where I was like, getting judgmental because people were shooting at balloons in the sea or, on the coast basically, and all the rubber, the balloon stuff, just, they were shooting with like air pellets, whatever it's called. Anyways, and that was Izmir. I think. I hope I didn't forget anything. The next day I started to hitchhike again, started to Antalya, and I recorded a second vlog about that, which I'm gonna either show you now.
Alright, Reality Check. Übernachtung in Denizli. Im Möbelwagen von Ferhards Möbelgeschäft. Ich war gerade pissen, irgendwo in einer Seitengasse. Und geh jetzt schlafen.
Or I may just call this a day and call this a vlog because it's already getting too long again. And in that case, stay tuned for the next one. Make sure to check out previous vlogs and podcasts. Hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, share this with your friends if you like it. Feel free to check out my Patreon webpage if you want to support me, or just, you can PayPal me coffee or whatever, some street food. I'm always appreciative of this. Thanks for tuning in. Much peace and love. Jakob.